But I have a trivia question for you.
Shoot.
Do you know what ChatGPT stands for?
I have no idea what ChatGPT stands for.
Hey there, this is Matthew Jennings with Peachjar Extra Credit, and on this episode, we are talking ChatGPT. What is it? What's it about? Is it taking over the world? Are we all going to have jobs? And how do you use it? Curtis, good morning.
Hey, Matt.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm very lucky to have special guest Curtis with me here from the Puyallup School District, previous, I should say, Innsbruck Northwest Region Vice President. Kind of a big deal.
Stop.
A legend in the field of school public relations, which is really amazing. So thank you for taking the time to meet with me this morning to talk ChatGPT.
Yep.
So before we just dive into this, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your background.
My name is Curtis Campbell. I'm the communications manager for the Puyallup School District here in Washington State. We're about the sixth largest district in the state, serving almost 23,000 students. And I'm in my 16th year in school PR. Previously, I worked for the Sunnyside School District in South Central Washington, and then the Shoreline School District just north of Seattle. And just finishing up my first year in Puyallup. And after being a one-person shop for so long, it's been great to have a team to work with and great people to work with and just continue to do the work that we're so blessed to do. So
that's awesome. Well, that is really wonderful to have a team. It's so difficult to do this work alone and just not even have just one person to bounce an idea off of or a second pair of eyes on something. So very cool to hear that you're doing really well and you've got a team. And I'm excited to learn more about what you've got and watching Puyallup now that you're on that team, just seeing kind of where you take things.
Well, thanks.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about ChatGPT today, but I have a trivia question for you.
Shoot.
Do you know what ChatGPT stands for?
I have no idea what ChatGPT stands for.
And I'm pretty sure after I tell you, you won't remember it because it doesn't make any sense to me. But Chat Generative Pre-Training Transformer.
Huh?
And now you know.
Now we know.
You know. And I'm not sure that helps.
Now we know.
I'd have to really dig into what that means. You know, being words people, I'm kind of curious as to what Chat Generative Pre-Transformer means. So I'm going to have to look into that deeper, but that's what Chat GPT is. So on that note, let's just talk for anybody. And I've actually talked to a few people. We happen to be here at the WASPR conference in Leavenworth, Washington right now, which is just a gorgeous place.
Beautiful, beautiful.
WASPR is awesome anyway, but it's just filled with awesome people and an awesome community here. I've talked to a couple of people here at the conference that don't really know what ChatGPT is. I've heard of it. I know it does some words, and I haven't looked into it at all. So let's just start at the beginning. What is ChatGPT?
ChatGPT is a relatively new artificial intelligence chat bot, for lack of a better term. It's an automated system where you give it a prompt and then it will spit out strings of words that it thinks answers that prompt or fills in the information that you're looking for.
Okay. And in your experience using the tool, have you found it helpful in your role as a school communications professional in any way? Is it a viable tool? Is it useful? Is it something we should look into?
I think it's a viable tool. It's useful, and it's definitely, it's cutting edge. It's new, so it's continuing to go through iterations as it develops. And there's other products out there that are starting to come on with. We heard from some vendors here at the conference this week who are beginning to implement generative artificial intelligence into their products to create blog posts, website content, and things like that. And so I think we're just going to continue to see it develop and grow and become, a more refined tool as it's utilized more, learned more. People, find different ways to use it. And so I think it's just kind of starting, but it's going to be a pretty big deal. So.
Wow. Do you think it's going to take over? Are we going to have jobs?
Oh, I think we're going to have jobs. You can put a prompt in there, like somewhat like what we have with Facebook, the school PR group. Every day or so, you'll see someone, hey, do you have a letter for this particular situation? Yeah. Do you have a sample letter for this particular situation? With ChatGPT, you can type in the situation and give it a few details, and it will generate strings of words that look like, a well-written letter, but it doesn't, it's artificial intelligence, so it doesn't get a lot of the nuances that you need a human editor to kind of go through. It's kind of like, I think of it more like you have a staff writer and you're an editor, and they write this thing out and then they bring it to you and you have to go through and edit it. You really have to take a look at all the different nuances, making sure it has the right tone. It's not always correct. Like sometimes it doesn't have correct information. It's a tool that's continuing to learn itself, and so you have to go through and you have to edit. But it's a good starting block for a lot of different things. If you need a letter because you're having we face unique situations every day that are different and unexpected, and sometimes there's not a letter for it that someone has because it's just a situation that hasn't come up. So you're not going to find one of those canned boilerplate messages that we so often rely on in our work because of various situations. So it's really cool that you can type in very unique situations, details that are unique to a situation, and it'll give you a Word product that you can then build off of and continue to draft and to refine to fit the needs that you're trying to work on.
So it's more of a template, kind of like when you dig into Canva to design something and you select a template to start with. You're going to have to totally rearrange that and manipulate that, but it's a good starting point.
Yeah, I'd say it gets you really close. You just need to kind of go through and massage it and edit for tone and nuance and voice, and then you got a pretty good product.
And obviously, local to your district and whatever that pertinent situation is, the product, artificial intelligence is not going to know all that. So that makes a lot of sense. Have you been able to lean into resource yet in your own job? And if so, what did that look like? And how did that work? When you say, you put in some prompts, give me some more specifics on that.
So we had, we have situations all the time. And so I've used it. We haven't had a situation lately that I've had to use it to build something off of, but what I've started to do is build boilerplates using it. And so I'll type in, a situation where a student brought like an airsoft pistol, or they actually brought a weapon, and then I'll give it a few details that are like specific to our district and our procedures and how we react to things. And so I've started building out, and then I save it like in a Word doc, so I have this kind of bank of templates that I can draw upon. Or if it was a situation that was kind of happening right at the moment, then I can just go in, type in what's going on, get it back, and then start working from there.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Sometimes just getting started is the hardest part. I learned a trick from Annette Franco in Newport Mesa Unified School District a few years back. She said, just skip the title. Just put that out of your head. Skip the first couple of sentences and just dig into the middle paragraph. Just start there, because sometimes people find it really hard to just get started and they get locked in on the first few words. So it sounds like something that's just really awesome. Put in a few prompts. You get that template starting point and you're off to the races. Question then would be, do you have to have an account? Is it paid? Is it free? How does that work?
You do have to have an account. It's through a company called OpenAI, and you have to create an account, and then you get a password and you're able to log in. They do have a premium subscription, and that gives you access anytime, because right now it's a very popular tool. So sometimes if you have a free account, you'll try to get on, but it'll say, hey, sorry, we're really? Like at capacity right now, because lots of people are using it for lots of different things. I've heard of people using it to create social media posts and all sorts of things, but people from all walks of life use it for different things. So with a free account, it may like tell you, hey, come back a little bit later. But with the paid premium account, which I believe is about $20 a month, you have access anytime, and it gives you a couple other tools, I believe, as well.
That sounds great. Yeah. That doesn't sound that bad. Do you find it easy to use? Is it intuitive?
It's pretty intuitive. It's like a chat bot, like a normal chat bot. So you have a little dialogue screen, you type in your prompt, and then it kind of spits it out. And then you can even tell it like, hey, I want this in this number. I want a message about this in under 250 words. So you can give it some very specific details and parameters, and it will give you what you're looking for to kind of get started.
That's cool. One of the questions I got just a couple of days ago was, if I use ChatGPT, is it original content? Can I claim it as my own? And just in our conversation here, I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. And it sounds more like it is going to be more template in structure. And so you're already going to probably be making some significant changes at a base level. and that would be more considered, original content. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a lot like, we do with, we have resources and tools where we have a bank of news, message templates, or we reach out and see what our, the great thing about WASPR and INSPRA is we have such a bank of information and support and resources. So like I might reach out to a colleague in a district, say, hey, this is a situation we had. Do you have like a letter that you've used? So I think of it a lot like that. I think it's not original content because it's pulling all of its information, and the how it was trained was off of readily available information on the internet. So it's taking all of that from all over. So I would never use it to like write a speech or write something like write a message that you actually have like a byline on. Like you don't want to use it to write your superintendent's message, because that should be actually coming from your superintendent. It should be a voice of your superintendent or your communications team. But I think for situations where we're talking about like a quick message for a social media post, or you're having a crisis situation and you just need to like get started and getting some building blocks going, I think it's a really great tool. Talked to a lot of colleagues, Barb Hunter from our INSPRA executive director, we were talking about it and how it's just kind of one of those, we're going to have a couple sessions at INSPRA, I believe, that are going to be talking about ChatGPT. So I'm really excited to be in St. Louis later this summer and learn a lot more about it and how other people are using it in the different areas of our work.
That's great. So yeah, mark your calendars, INSPRA, St. Louis. If you're interested in learning more, taking a deeper dive at one of the breakout sessions, get on to the content calendar and be sure to block that off.
Yep.
Have you heard from anybody else that's been using it and that have shared any kind of nuggets or tips or tricks of wisdom?
My INSPRA mentee, I'm part of the Mentor Match program. Okay. We actually had a meeting last week, and he's much younger than me, and he's a digital media analyst, and so he really focuses on social media and website stuff. And so we were chatting, and I knew that we were going to be talking about things, and so this was one of the topics I wanted to talk about. And so I was asking him, I was like, hey, are you using this? And he's like, oh yeah, I use it to create a social media posts. Like I'll put in like information about things that he wants it to cover, and if it's a tweet, it needs to be under this number of characters, and then it generates that content, and he'll massage it so it's fitting what he is intending for that post. But I think it's a good way to generate all sorts of content, whether it's website content, social media content, or those other types of situations that we run into throughout the day at our work.
That's great. Well, it sounds like a fun tool to use and a new tool, which is great because we don't always get new tools in our profession, and a lot of it has been established, through decades of practice and experience. So it is kind of fun to have something really groundbreaking like this, and to be in a career like we all are right now in this moment, to be able to leverage something like this. So this has been amazing. I really appreciate this conversation. Is there kind of any parting words of wisdom? Anybody that's on the fence or maybe still hasn't dug into what ChatGPT is?
I would just check out OpenAI and go to their ChatGPT, check it out, create an account, and just play with it. Like you don't need to actually use it for work. You can start just playing with it. It's fun to, give it some prompts about various things. I was interested. I was like, okay, write me a poem about tacos and how much I love them, and it will write you a poem about how much you love tacos. And it's pretty fun and it's pretty great. So it's a cool tool to check out.
It's a really fun tool. It's definitely a very unique. If you are interested in learning more about it, there are a lot of just Google ChatGPT. There's a lot of great resources,
videos, all sorts of stuff.
YouTube, a lot of great resources that are going to pop up, help you dig into exactly how to leverage the prompts and get more effective results. So I echo everything you just said. That's really great. I can't thank you enough, Curtis, for spending the morning with me here, taking time out of a busy conference schedule to talk about ChatGPT. I know it's a hot topic out there. A lot of people are talking about it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Absolutely. All right. That's all we got. If you like this, be sure to like, share, comment, follow for more. We've got a whole list of things coming up for you on Peachjar Extra Credit. You can also check us out over on School PR Chat. We've got a lot of content coming at you over there as well. So stay tuned. See you.